Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at it in my hometown favorite filming spot, and we got something large and in charge from Toyota, and it's this right here. What the heck is this? It's a 2023 Toyota Sequoia, totally redesigned, but this is also the first ever top luxury trim known as the Sequoia Capstone. But before we get into this full-on luxury, full-on size SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. It's been about 20,000 years since Toyota redesigned the Sequoia, and many people have been waiting anxiously for what they were going to bring. Well, this is the redesign, and Toyota decided to double down on technology and also bring some surprises underneath the hood. Now, of course, you could get your full array of different trims on the Sequoia, but Toyota, not wanting to just settle, have decided to add another luxury trim. So what the heck would this Sequoia that's totally completely redesigned compete with? It would compete against things like the Ford Expedition, when you look at that top limited and platinum trim, of course the Chevrolet Tahoe, High Country, and one that's a major standout is the GMC Yukon Denali. Now, for 2023, the Yukon has some refresh style to it and some new tech, but is the totally new Sequoia Capstone the way to go if you're looking for a luxury full-size, not a mid-size, full-size SUV? Let's go ahead, let's dive in to this Sequoia and find out. Right off the bat, the color, it's called Wind Chill Pearl, and it really is a nice, crisp white, sort of like you just washed the linens, you washed the sheets, and you got that crisp white. And because it's got a nice satin pearl to it, it really showcases the body lines very well. Now, starting at the front of the business, taking design cues from the pickup truck version of this vehicle, which of course is the Toyota Tundra, you have a very similar headlight design. That double stacked LED headlight. I love the way you got the sequential turn signals, full LED daytime running lamp, functional, not so much at the very top, but in the middle you do have functional air curtains. And as we drop down, one of the things that differentiates the Sequoia from the bigger truck known as the Tundra are these areas. I like the way they kind of made it very aggressive, and air is also going to flow through these corner air curtains as well. Now, as we come across the front grille, if you're comparing this to the Yukon Denali, you know that it's all about shiny chrome. What I like about this grille, it's a nice satin aluminum steel finish to it. Not too blingy, definitely different from the other trims. You do have a forward-facing camera. All of your Sequoias are going to have the blue trim on the Toyota badge because they're all the iForce Max engine. And we'll get more to that when we pop the hood. Now, as we drop all the way down, you do have that Wind Chill Pearl, a little bit of satin black. It's actually not a gloss black, it's a satin black. I like the way you have these nice bright white LED fog lamps, and then a little bit of satin gray on the lower portion. Now, as we rise back up onto the hood, I really dig how they didn't keep the line straight. You look at the Yukon Denali, very, very straight on the indentations. What Toyota did was they did it almost like a V formation going straight towards those A-pillars. And then as we come around the bend, I hope you're ready for this. It's the largest ever wheel to be put on a Sequoia. 22 inches in diameter. You got that machine aluminum, the dark chrome finish. Let me know how you feel about the wheel. Is it too gaudy? Do you want something shinier? Do you want something darker? Let me know down in that comment section. But 22-inch wheel, 265 on the width, 50 series sidewall, and I'm so happy. Thank you, Toyota. I hope they could hear me over in Japan. No flat black. All body color matched around the fender opening. It's not like that on the Yukon Denali. I'm digging it. Let me know how you feel about this all being Wind Chill Pearl. Of course, there's other colors, but the Capstone, I think, looks really crisp in this Wind Chill Pearl. Now, as we rise up, one of my favorite parts, just like on the Tundra, is this sort of like flared fender style that they did. Very, very muscular without going too over the top. We have our iForce Max badge. Looks good. It's not a fake vent. It's not supposed to be a vent. Just let you know that, hey, we have that I-Force Max underneath the hood. Now, where they lose me a little bit, just like on the Yukon Denali, is if you're gonna have like an aluminum satin steel finish on the grill, what the heck is going on here? I wanna see this be the same material. This, though, is shiny chrome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop one big zonk on all the shiny chrome bits, because I think that it should be more like the satin steel, the aluminum finish. But these are power folding. You do have 360-degree mirror cap video cameras, and I like the way it's got the blacked out A-pillar. Kind of makes it not look so heavy from the side. Now, very, very smart the way they did the trim with the capstone badge, so they didn't have to put it up on the fender. And like I was saying, with that fender line, the way it kind of drips into the door and then evaporates, and then you have that trim in that aluminum finish looking good. Of course, open up the doors. We got those power dropping running boards. Look how quick those are. Those got to be the quickest I've ever seen. Of course, it's going to go slow now, but there it goes, tucked nicely. Chrome on the door handles, chrome on the window trim. You know how I feel about that. We've already dropped the zonk, but I do like the way they did the two-tone. That looks classy. Satin aluminum steel finish on the roof rails, and then very, very smart of them to just have the trim on the bottom and then kind of boomerang at the end. It just makes the vehicle not look so heavy from the side. Now, as we come back, remember, this is that whole totally new steel box frame, just like the Tundra has. And then as we kind of swing around, I love the way you got that indentation on that rear fender. Coming into the rear lights, all LED. No light bulbs in there. Full LED, reverse lights, turn signals, the whole shabam. I like the way it's got a nice roof spoiler, color match, blacked out shark fin antenna. This, though, has got to go. This needs to be up here. So we are going to zonk the rear wiper. That would just clean up the whole rear area of the vehicle. But just like up front on the grille, that nice aluminum style finish, the Sequoia badge, I'm glad they didn't put another capstone. This isn't like a BMW where you got to put M badges all over the place. I'm glad they just kept it to 2 capstone badges. That's it. And then going all the way down, you just have a real clean rear bumper area. Obviously, this cover comes off for towing capability. But why don't we go ahead? Let's pop the hood and talk power of the new Sequoia. Right, guys, we got the hood popped open now. What's interesting is that massive hood struts, but it doesn't open very tall. So that's kind of interesting how that works. Right off the bat, you're gonna find a tasteful engine cover with the Toyota badge and the I-Force Max badge. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's that? That's the electric motor. So like I said, one engine only in this Toyota Sequoia. What the heck is it? It's a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 paired to that electric motor to produce 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, if you go Yukon Denali, you could still get your V8 that puts out 420 horsepower, or you could go with a straight 6 turbo diesel, which is going to give you a unique engine setup with its special torque and towing capacity. Now, this vehicle, 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. Top speed is governed to 107 miles per hour. It weighs 6,179 pounds, 19 mpgs in the city, 22 on the highway. And this vehicle in rear-wheel drive, because remember, it's rear-wheel drive base, or you could get it all-wheel drive, has a tow capacity of 9,280 pounds. So let me know what you think. Are you happy that there's just one engine choice and just one engine choice only? Are you liking more what the Yukon is bringing with a naturally aspirated V8? But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and see it in motion. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Toyota Sequoia Capstone. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, tell me, please, I'm about to pull the trigger on a Yukon Denali. How much is this? So the way that this Capstone is optioned is right at $80,000. Let's see what you get for the money. to the door panels. Now what you're gonna find is two-tone, and that's how it comes. And I'm a little bummed out by that because I'm not really into the white and black interior, but I do like the contrast stitching. You do have real wood finish. A Twinkie pocket in the center actually will hold two Toyota Twinkies. And then down below, you do have enough room for a Checkers Big Buford, 2 bottles of Surge, and I do like the decorative speaker grill cover for that JBL sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, you do get ambient lighting. You can't see it during the day, but at night it's all blue ambient lighting, not only on the door panels, but also here on the dash. Real wood. Let me know how you feel about the white. It looks good, but I just know if you have kids, they're gonna get fingerprints and disgusting things all over this. So let me know how you feel about it. Now coming on in, you are gonna get a larger screen than the Yukon Denali. The Yukon Denali, you're looking around 13-inch screen. This is a 14-inch screen. And remember, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning, and this is the screen that's winning. Horizontal layout, obviously, very easy to set up different driver settings. Each person can have their own little icon, the whole 9 yards. Throw it into reverse. Large cameras, so I do like that, but the resolution is clear on the Yukon Denali. I'm just throwing that out there. But you do have every which angle. It's almost like a spaceship where you could look through all these different angles, out the front, out the back, all the different views. And then there we are. And of course it's got the trajectory, which is really nice. Don't want to scratch those 22-inch wheels on a curb. Working your way down, we got nice toggle switches, the real deal switch gear. We do have 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, USB-A, real volume knob, our power on button, which is blue because this is a hybrid, toggle switches, wireless charging, and a place to put 2 Snickers, satisfies. This is going to control your 10-speed automatic transmission. We do have a drive mode selector knob, first time on a Sequoia. And also you'll notice on our 4x4 system, it's got that nice push slide system. So 2 high, rear wheel drive, or you could do 4 high and 4 low. More wood, you could rub your wood. Just watch out for the splinters. Flip that up, 2 cup holders. You got a nice little tray where you could put some Cracker Jacks. More wood, more white leather style material. Open it up. This is where I like to keep, like my Aladdin's Castle game tokens. If I'm going to the mall up the street, I love playing some arcade games. Galaga, Centipede, those were the days. No phones. You just go to the mall and just hang out and bother everybody every day. Reach in, easy access. I'm all about easy access. And what's nice is that you could have your Twinkies in here and just boom, and then you could close it up before anybody even tries to get their hand in there after you. Flip it up, nice little command center, USB-C, USB-A, and you could fit, I would say, probably about 10 Rubik's Cubes. That's a fun little thing. You know, if your kids are annoying you for like a bicycle or they want you to buy them a car, give them a Rubik's Cube and see if they can solve it. More often than not, you're gonna be able to keep your money in your wallet. Just a little piece of advice. Seats, these are leather, Napa leather, straight from the Lexus LS500. So this is no joke. I'm not exaggerating one bit. The two-tone, super soft, full power assist for the passenger and the driver. The problem is you get no massage seats. So hopefully you have somebody sitting up front that's very friendly and they could give you a massage, because the seats are not gonna do it for you. What you are gonna get though is this massive panoramic sunroof. So that's a nice extra touch. And then to top it off, just like the Yukon Denali, we got a digital rear view mirror, which has very nice resolution. But why don't you get your butt over here behind this leather wrapped steering wheel? I want to show you the gauges in our Sequoia. All right guys, behind the business end, you do have 2 memory seat settings. Seats are easy to adjust right by your fingertips. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room, but it is tighter. Let's be honest here. This is tighter passenger volume size than compared to Yukon Denali. I'm just saying that. But what I am also saying is I love the steering wheel. You got the nice leather, 2-piece style, contrast stitching, some stitching on the horn, but they should have made it white. I'm sorry, that's gonna be a zonk. But you do have flat black on the buttons. It is a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that nice large digital display in the center. What's cool is when you go in your different modes, it actually shows up. Sport, normal, and eco. What mode are we gonna stay in? You are correct, we are gonna stay in sport. So that's a nice setup. And you have an 8-inch head-up display. So just like Maverick and Top Gun with his head-up display, you don't have to worry about losing goose. You get to enjoy your head-up display super clear in the Sequoia. But why don't we get in our back seat and see where your passengers are gonna be sitting in this Sequoia. Hey guys, back seat time in this Capstone. You're gonna get the amazing same Napa leather right out of the Lexus LS500. And I like the size of the seats. They're really gonna make your passenger feel like they're flying first class on a plane. You do get one of those captain's chair armrests. I am gonna zonk it. Too skinny. Ford is like the only brand that I can remember off the top of my head where they have a thick enough armrest. It's that ratcheting kind that I hate too. Let me just get it out of my face. Now, you got two-tone leather all the way around. Nice large pockets. This is where you could put, I would say, 6 Game Boys back here. So you have a Game Boy basically for everybody to play with in this Sequoia. Back command center, you got the 2 cup holders. I like the way they do the leather all the way around, but we all know, see how the stains are already starting to form? This is gonna get destroyed with your Slurpee kids and all that. You do have your AC controls, easy to get to. Heated seats and ventilated seats. Thank you, Toyota. The Yukon does not have that on the Denali trim. USB-A, USB-C, and a home power source. I got plenty of room. The challenge is if I want to stretch my legs out, I'm gonna have to kick my passenger and tell them to move the seat because these seats don't slide. They do recline a little bit, but they don't slide. But the great news is it's hard to see. I have a nice little party tray here. You could actually put, I would say one of those like 8 packs of tacos from Taco Bell, 2 drinks, and then you got a place in the center for all the sauce packets, the hot sauce packets. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the 3rd row and see if your passengers are gonna sit like princes or peasants in that back seat. Let's get to it. All right guys, come into the rear seat area, the 3rd row. It's a little bit of a mixed bag back here. So I do like the way they have a nice landing pad area for your passengers' feet so they don't rip up the carpet. But once you get in, I've been in some mid-size SUVs that offer me more legroom. Now let me throw out that this is a sliding 3rd row and I have it slid all the way back. So if I want to cause myself more pain, I would slide it closer to the mid-row seat. But that being said, it does have the same great leather, so I'll give them that. You do have a USB-C and you do have power tilting rear seats. So if you want to kind of sit like this, then you could do that. But I really feel like this is definitely where you want to put the kids that you have in your family that are the biggest pains in your rear. This is where you want to have them sit. Or maybe your friend, your son's next door neighbor's kid that's just super annoying, have him sit back here because this would be nice punishment for him. But you do have 2 cup holders. That's nice. But compared to the Yukon Denali, it's definitely more cramped back here. Let's see if the cargo area gets any better in the Sequoia Capstone. All right, guys, we are in this 2023 Toyota Sequoia. This one, like I said, the top Capstone trim. Right away, I mean, the level of luxury in here has never been seen in a Sequoia like this. All the stitch work, the nice soft touch finishes, everything just has a great feel in here, and it allows you to really experience the best of both worlds. Maybe you don't want to go Lexus LX 600, you want to go more Toyota Sequoia. Now you could have both of these options when it comes to luxury and when it comes to that big size, reliable SUV. Getting to the massive 14-inch infotainment system is a piece of cake. Obviously, you have all your switch gear that's also very easy to get to. And then just the way that they did the finishes and tech in here is really, really well done. All right, let's go ahead and go on throttle here. on throttle, in sport mode. Now, you get great shifts from that 10-speed automatic, smooth shifts. And what I like is that with the hybrid setup, the iForce Max, because of that electric motor, you're getting more torque. It's really, really a nice, very smooth operation between the electric motor and the twin turbo V6 power plant. But handling is superb, and you'd be surprised, it actually rides very, very comfortably, even with the 22-inch wheels. Having all that important information all at a simple glance, either by the digital gauge cluster or the head-up display, is wonderful. It's just the thing you're going to be hurting on is overall space. If you need more space, you're going to get it with the Yukon. But handling dynamics is very, very nice. And really the look. I think that's one area, especially a lot of Tundra owners have told me, why couldn't they make the new Tundra, the front of it, look like the Sequoia? Because they absolutely love the way that the Sequoia looks at the front, and I don't blame them, especially with all the great LED lighting and everything. You do get sound that is pumped in to the cabin, and I think that obviously the main reason why Toyota did that was because of the previous Sequoia having a V8. So that is somewhere where they decided to pump in sound to make it a little bit more familiar for those that are coming from the V8 Sequoia. But interior wise, this blows the old Sequoia just out of the water. Really blows it off the map because of the fit and finish and the materials that are in here. Nice to have the ventilated seats. Would be a little bit nicer to have massage seat settings in here, at least for the driver. I think that would have been another great way to kind of show that extra capstone touch. On throttle, here we go. It's interesting because even though we don't have a V8 anymore, you're still getting very, very low down torque, and it's super linear. I think the great news is with all of the Sequoias being iForce Max, the electric motor just eliminates any kind of turbo lag that you think you might experience. And with a 0 to 60 time as quick as this is, it's quite substantial, especially when you look at the 6.2 liter V8 in the Yukon. It's interesting how the 0 to 60 times are very, very similar. But of course you get a tad better fuel economy. And I think that's one of the biggest surprises, even to me, was I thought by going V6 with a hybrid that there would be better fuel economy. But unfortunately, it isn't that way. I'm gonna show you how nice it is to make a U-turn. 1, 2, 3, look at this. Easy peasy, nobody's behind us. On throttle, here we go. It does have that max gauge to let you know when the electric motor is working. It has a battery gauge for that lithium-ion battery, and it also has a boost gauge. So when it comes to instrumentation, I really like the digital gauge display more so than what's in the Yukon. And then it's up to you. Do you like how this is integrated, even though it's sticking up just a tad, but it is larger, 14 inches? Or do you like the Yukon Denali, which is totally integrated, but it's a little bit smaller? Those are other things that you're gonna have to ask yourself, what do you want? All right, guys, pulling away from this light in sport mode. Very, very smooth on the throttle response. Of course, when you go into sport mode, it adjusts the steering, the throttle sensitivity, and how the engine and the transmission behave. Another thing that's so simple that I think people will overlook is I love what they've done with the top of the door panels. They're nice and flat. They're wrapped in that leather style material, and it's just very comfy to put your arm there while you're driving. This is usually how I like to position myself as I'm driving any vehicle, let alone a full-size SUV. And remember, Toyota Highlander is mid-size, Toyota Sequoia is full-size, even though they're both 3-row SUVs. I think one of the things you'll like more about the Sequoia over the Tahoe, it just feels easier to drive just because of the dimensions of it and the way that you have good visual reference points. It just makes it an easier experience if you're not used to driving a full-size SUV. So that's another thing you might want to take into consideration when you're looking at what full-size SUV to buy, because you want to be comfortable parking it, driving it, especially when you're in high traffic situations, all those types of things. Just makes it less stressful. But we're gonna get on the highway and see how this Sequoia cruises down the road. They did a great job with the chassis dynamics, the handling. Doesn't sway all over the place, which is great. And then it's very easy to merge with this vehicle. Very, very easy. We're gonna get on the highway here and see how it goes. Remember, we have the Toyota Sensing 2.5 safety technology. Here we go, on throttle. Let me know how you feel about the pumped in sound. It's actually not too obnoxious. I've heard worse, so I'm happy that it's not too bad. Now, you are gonna get some wind noise because of the large side mirrors. I am kind of surprised just how much wind noise you do hear inside the cabin, because I know that for the Capstone they did bump up sound deadening material, the acoustic glass, all that kind of stuff. But driving down the highway, very smooth, very comfy, and this is where you're going to be able to maximize your MPGs. But I'm hoping that you got a good overall feel of what the Sequoia is bringing for the money, the Capstone trim. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another bright, sunshiny kind of day out here in Florida with the Sequoia. We definitely got to thank Zach, the whole team over at Toyota, for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Are you going Sequoia Capstone? Are you going Yukon Denali? Let them know. They're watching. Let Toyota know in that comment section how you feel about the Sequoia Capstone. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up to the man, the myth, the legend, Stephen Flood Photography. Follow him on Instagram. He really wants to kind of grow his Instagram following because he's got good skills with a camera. So show him some love in that comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.